Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Chameleon Media Podcast. What? I messed that up?
No, you just ugly.
Okay, let's do that over then. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Chameleon Media Podcast. I'm your host, Will Santana, and I'm here with the...
Lack Grizzly. Roar.
Lack, I got something we're going to talk about today. You're going to do some backflips, some cartwheels, and...
Uh-oh.
You're going to be crazy.
Uh-oh.
You might even cheat on your wife.
No, I can't.
You know I'm exaggerating it.
I know. But no.
Lack, how's everything going, man? You been doing all right, man?
Yeah, man. How about yourself, pimping?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Just, wanted to get an autograph this weekend. It didn't happen, man. Long story, but...
Yeah, man.
But, hey, I am excited. They announced the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, and it's up for pre-order on Amazon.
Gotta get it.
Yep, me too.
Gotta get it. That's for the old heads who are like serious gamers now. You ain't gonna find like up-to-date stuff. Most of this came out before half of y'all, new cats was born. So, yeah, y'all... Don't worry about us. Let us have our fun, and y'all gone somewhere. You call us old, we might have to do something to you.
Like, you so stupid. All right, Lack, but let's get into the Lack no in-between trailer talk. You ready for it, Lack?
Yes.
All right, man. Let's talk about some Mulan. Disney Mulan.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. It was different. It looks like they're going to change some stuff up in it significantly. Like
missing some key characters.
Yeah, but I was mad at first.
I'm mad about one.
Yeah, I was mad at first, but I found out it had something to do with the Chinese culture, and they were trying to respect the culture.
I'm still mad though.
I want to see the dragon. I was expecting to hear Eddie Murphy, but you can't have folks mad at the same time. Everybody gets butt hurt so easily nowadays. You blink wrong, I'm going to sign a petition to have you removed. So, but yeah, overall though, man, I liked it. It looked like it's going to be very action packed. It doesn't look, because sometimes you could tell from the trailers it's going to be cheesy.
Did she look like Mulan to you from the cartoon version?
No, but she didn't look Asian in the cartoon version. Her eyes was all big and princessy like. You know how Disney does their characters, and she kind of looked like another version of Pocahontas. What I
liked about the cartoon version was you had her looking very pretty as the female version, and then when she switched over to the warrior, she had that tone.
Yeah, she played it off real good.
I didn't get that, but she had the moves.
Yeah, man.
I'd be like, nah, I don't want none of that.
I wonder if they're gonna put somebody like Michelle Yeoh or somebody like that in there.
Is she Chinese?
I don't know, but
I don't think Lucy Liu is. She's Japanese, ain't she?
But I don't think she know kung fu like that. But Michelle Yeoh, she was with the best of them, Jackie Chan and all of them. So I'm hoping she gonna be. Come on, man, she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Would you go watch it?
Yeah.
You would?
I think I'm gonna go to the theaters and see that one.
Okay, I'm interested in it. It looked good, man.
My daughter's interested, so I have to go now.
Are you gonna go see Lion King?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Dora, but
no. I'm talking about Lion King. It comes out this weekend.
I want to see it,
but not that bad.
I actually want to see it really bad. I'm just afraid it's gonna be the Beyonce King instead of the Lion King. Yeah, the Beehive. Please don't come after me. It's just. Now you playing you playing with my childhood. I don't want to hear Beyonce singing through the entire freaking movie. You know what I'm saying? She already is not that very good of an actress. She's a phenomenal singer. She's a phenomenal live performer, which is like stuff you don't get nowadays, with all the auto-tune and people not really knowing how to sing and all that.
Watch how you say it. The Beehive's on their way.
Yeah, I was saying that's why I'm making sure I'm giving props where props are due. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like a very, very good singer. She's a very good performer. Actress-wise, I really didn't like her that much in Austin Powers. I didn't like her that.
Turkey.
Yep. I didn't like her that much. And what was that? Carmen, a hip hopper.
Oh, that was terrible.
I didn't like her that much. In that other movie where the crazy white chick was trying to come after her, I liked the way. Yeah, but she fought pretty good. And then I was like, oh, Beyonce got some moves.
Fighting Temptations either. There was one movie I liked her. It was called like Cadillac Music or something.
Cadillac Records.
Cadillac Records.
Yeah, now she did good in that.
That's the only one I
liked.
But
I think she did good just because she had some competition in there with Jennifer Hudson.
What about the one with
was that Dreamgirls?
That's what I was about to do. Eddie Murphy and them.
Yeah.
Dreamgirls.
Jimmy got soul. Jimmy got soul. Jimmy got soul.
It was a musical though.
Yeah.
She fit that one. And she kind of played.
But Carmen was a musical and it was awful. Oh, let's go for somebody to kick the door down.
Man, we got way off Mulan, dude.
Yeah.
We always do that, don't we?
But we was on the Lion King, so
we were talking about Disney.
Yeah, we was on the Lion King, and like I said, I really want, especially with James Earl Jones being Mufasa. If they would have replaced him, I'm like, nope.
I'm kind of hoping there's like a Jason Weaver cameo, singing "I Can't Wait to Be King."
Nah, his voice too deep now. It's not gonna happen.
He still got it, man. Remember him in the Chingy song? He still got it.
Yeah,
but he can't play the young Simba.
He might be he could probably do Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, he could do that one.
Or he did Hakuna Matata.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember he did I Can't Wait to Be King.
I think if he does, because, he had to do part of Hakuna Matata because he was younger.
Yeah, you're right. He had to do at least the first half of the song.
Yeah.
Because he was aging in it. That's right.
If they got Jason Weaver to do the second half of the song, I think that would be dope.
You got something there. That would be dope.
Man, that would be great.
All right, you ready to do your backflips?
He can't be up there talking about, I just can't wait to be king. I think he smokes now, too.
I saw he had a cameo page, and he's still singing. He's doing all right, man.
Oh, okay,
yeah, cool. He's doing all right.
I'd like to meet him one day. You think we can get him on the show?
Well, it's possible, doable. He's all over social media. He posts quite often.
Okay, yeah,
he's doable. I think so, man.
Okay.
He's more acting-wise, but he hasn't really... done it in quite a while. I don't think so. ATL, Drumline. To me, he's always going to be Michael Jackson and Simba. and I don't know if you remember this movie called Summertime Switch. It was with the other kid from Boy Meets World, and they had the same names. It was they got stereotyped. Jason Weaver was the thug hooligan, and the kid from Boy Meets World was the rich preppy nerd and all that kind of stuff. And then they had the same exact names. And when the summer hit, they got switched to the wrong camp.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I have not seen that. But it actually cool. Sounds good.
It's actually kind of cool.
It's like a modern day trading places or something. Yeah.
But with kids. So,
yeah.
None of the profanity and all that. But it's kind of cool, man. And the fat kid from the Sandlot's in it.
He said, Eddie Murphy was like, he said, oh, it's a miracle. I got legs. I don't want to start talking about that movie.
All right. Let's get into our second trailer.
Okay, what we talking about, bro?
All right, you ready to do some backflips and some cartwheels?
Yes.
Wu-Tang.
Oh.
The saga continues.
Choose the sword.
All right, let's not get too deep into the documentary. Let's talk about this trailer.
Well, hold up. Before we get into the trailer, though, documentary-wise, how do you feel about it? Like,
I love
because you seen all the episodes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
it was phenomenal, man. It was great.
I think they did the cinematography, everything was great.
Even if you throw the music out, because I'm biased toward the music, it was great, man.
Yeah, they did a great job on it. Now, transitioning from the documentary to the actual movie series. Is this supposed to be a whole movie or a movie series?
I think it's supposed to be a whole movie.
So I know it's supposed to be exclusive on Hulu.
And I'm gonna have your account that day.
Oh yeah. Oh, you had to come over, bro. Like I done already told my wife and everything. Like, look here, that's Wu-Tang Day. Okay, like I'm not going to work that day. Nothing. I'm gonna have the TV set up. Everything's gonna be. I'm gonna go buy me a Wu-Tang shirt. Sleepy gonna come over with his Wu-Tang. So I said, bro, you might as well bring your turntables, everything, because it's gonna be straight.
Watch it at midnight. He gonna watch it at midnight and then pretend like he ain't seen it when we get here. And he gonna, hey y'all, this is the good part right here. That's gonna be like,
bro. I'm telling you, man. I think it's gonna be dope. The guy that they have, because the trailer sparked my interest big time. Mm-hmm. The guy who they have playing ODB.
Oh, he looked just like him, man.
OMG. He looked exact. Then he burped, and you could tell he had that real nonchalant attitude. And the guy they had playing Method Man is Dave East. I don't know if you're too familiar with him.
But when you told me about it, I looked him up.
Yeah, because him and Nipsey Hussle used to be tight because they're both Crips. Mm-hmm. And it's just Dave East, he's up under Nas.
Okay.
And so he gets a pass in the hip hop community. Nas picked him up.
Yeah.
So and Nas was supposed to be not Nas, but Dave East was supposed to be a really good college ball player too. But he just something happened. I don't know. But trailer wise, I think they did good with that one too. And the people they picked to play them. They showed RZA, but I don't think they showed who was supposed to be playing his brother. But you could tell who his brother was because the dude looked just like him. He just ain't cockeyed. Mm-hmm. I didn't know his brother was that cockeyed, man. I was like, man, is he looking at the camera? What's going on, bro?
I think Raekwon was the only one who didn't look like, or at least resemble Raekwon. To me, he didn't resemble Raekwon. I think
Raekwon was always chubby, wasn't he?
Always chubby. This guy was pretty thin, man.
Yeah, man. He better have the mannerisms down though.
I mean, but maybe he can act the part. It's not always about looks.
Yeah,
not always.
Yeah, because old buddy who played Dr. Dre didn't look like Dr. Dre and Straight Outta Compton. So
he did a great job.
Yeah, he did a real good job.
I think Cuba Gooding don't look like OJ, but he did a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job playing him. But now Denzel looked like Malcolm X. I don't care what nobody says. He's just darker.
Hey, O'Shea Jackson Jr. looked like Ice Cube.
Yeah.
He's just a taller version.
Yeah, man. And what's funny is, I saw the trailer before Lag, and when I called him and told him, all I heard was, ooh, where? Ooh. You sound like a 5-year-old when I called you and told you about it.
I got to see that, man. So, speaking on that, do you think the entire soundtrack is gonna probably be produced by like RZA, and do you think they're gonna involve people like Fourth Disciple, Bronze Nazareth, and all
That's
them?
part of, I know their Fourth Disciple is not an official Wu-Tang member, but their albums are not, it's not the same without Fourth Disciple and True Master and Mathematics. They got to be on there.
Because then you got people like Killer Priest, who was up under GZA. And
they might have them on the soundtrack. I don't know if they'll be in the movie.
Do you think it's going to be an actual soundtrack, like you can stream through Apple Music, or
how far do you think they will go?
I don't know.
Do you think they will stop like once ODB passed, or after Wu-Tang Forever, or do you think they're going to stop till like now?
I mean, because if they go all the way to now, man, they got to include the whole thing with Martin Shkreli and. They put out several albums, so I mean,
well, didn't he sell the album? He doesn't have access. He doesn't own that album, I think, anymore.
Who, the Martin dude?
Yeah, the guy with he was the HIV pill guy.
Yeah, right? Man. So I don't know. Let me see. I'm finna look on for the trailer now.
Well, you looked that up.
I thought it was gonna be a series.
I liked it. I did like. I was wondering though what happened with You God and Master Killer because they didn't highlight their names, but I'm sure they're going to be in the movie.
Yeah. I'm
sure they're going to be in the movie, but I noticed they didn't highlight their names. I'm hoping Capadonna doesn't have a strong presence in the movie because to me he didn't even become that relevant until like Ice Cream on Raekwon's album and Triumph on the Wu-Tang's second album.
Yo, it's a series.
It's a series?
Let's see. Wu-Tang and American Saga. Mm-hmm. I would imagine it's going to be a series the way they're naming it. Oh, let me see.
Yo, play that beat again, son.
You ain't so stupid. We about to get copyright strike right here.
Just trying to make music if you want to make it in this world.
He looked just like RZA, brother, man. Dude playing RZA a little dark.
So do you think they're going to talk about some of the affiliates in there? Killer Army, Sons of Man?
You listening to beats?
I think they going to have... they don't have to, But
He's so stupid.
listen, you gotta respect the deck.
He's still the best.
Born in Shaolin, made in America.
Like won't admit it, but Rebel INS Spec the Deck is still the best memory.
So I'm thinking, yeah, it's a series premiere, September 4th. Okay. I mean, because it's so much for them to cover.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really hard to squeeze that into a 2-hour movie.
Man.
Yeah, because man, they crushed so much into that movie. It was hard to try to cover everything properly.
I felt like they
man.
gave the director or the writer of that Tupac movie like a grocery list. Here's your checklist. You got to do this, and he was just checking them off.
Yeah, because there are certain things you can't avoid. You know, you can't avoid each time he got shot. You can't avoid the whole rape trial. You can't avoid Biggie. But I mean, you got to be able to have Juice. You got to have his first freaking album, Tupacalypse. Now you got to have his Digital Underground time. You know, but
they did all that, but it was too.
It was too fast.
It was too because, like, example, I remember they showing him, you know, with Jada, you know, in the Baltimore acting school and all that, and then boom, he's with Digital Underground, and then after the Digital Underground scene is boom, Juice. Like, we didn't even see the transition of the fans, like, start recognizing him and becoming a star.
Right.
know?
I mean, because, you know, he was supposed to be in Menace to Society. And they didn't show him. That was, like, actually a big deal, you know, but they didn't mention none of that stuff. So that's
he
why
was
I'm
on Yo on TV Raps giving himself away with that whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, man, they were going through it too fast.
They should have did it like the Jackson 5 movie back in the days.
Yeah.
You know, where it was like a big 2-part series.
Yeah.
That's what
I think they could have did the same thing with Biggie too, man.
The Biggie one was at least
I mean, it
decent.
was decent, yeah. I think they had a much bigger budget for the Biggie one because, you know, Diddy had his hands in that one. So, but this one, I think with Wu, is going to come out good because it looks like they can take their time with it. You know, and they it's not like them having to be there to act as themselves either. You know, they can still go on tour and do what they do and let the other folks do what they do. You know, and I'm pretty sure they've been studying their mannerisms and all that other stuff, man. And who can't, like my partner I was in Germany with named David, he used to rap exactly like Method Man. You could tell that was his favorite rapper. He'll do the whole little while he rapping and everything, bro. And I was like, man, this boy Method Man go come chop your leg off, bro. But
before we end talking about the Wu-Tang series, when I was growing
Tiger Style.
When I was growing up, I would watch things about Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow. You know what I'm saying? And some of that was before my time. I was so little, you know, but I still watched it. Do you think this generation would have any interest in this stuff? Any? Like, would they even consider watching it, or you think they just don't care because it's not Amigos and
if it's
Tatiana?
If anybody got interest in that, they need to be beat up, bro. That Blueface he's worse than Silk the Shocker to me, bro. But anyway.
But you hold on. Before you even answer that, think about it. We even watched the 5 Heartbeats, the Temptations.
You know
what I'm saying?
We watch all the old school
Richie
stuff.
Valens, La Bamba.
Yeah.
We watched that
man,
stuff.
you took it back with that
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, we went back, and that's music before our time. Like, if there was a Marvin Gaye movie, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
A Tammy Terrell movie, I'm going to watch it.
If they do that, they're going to have to shoot the scene in Columbus.
Hey.
I mean, because she used to live in Columbus.
Tammy Terrell?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
I think both of them. It was either Marvin Gaye or Tammy Terrell. One of them was in Columbus for a little while. So, but I think on the East Coast, maybe from Virginia up, they will pay attention because you can't be from New York and not know who Wu-Tang is. They made too big of an impact. I mean, they got roads and stuff named after them. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna let you not know the history behind hip hop.
Okay.
So I think New York, Boston, Virginia, Maryland, that area is gonna know about it. But I think, in the deep South, Atlanta, Miami, you probably have a few heads. I mean, but even back then, you know, and my uncle, well, I remember riding in the car with him when he was little. I was like, why is this dude listening to karate movies? And then boom, the music would come in. Mm-hmm. You know, and we down here in Columbus. So Wu-Tang had his reach, you feel me? He was listening to Liquid Swords. And he don't like any East Coast music for real. He just listened to Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. So I think some people will try to educate them and be like, hey, check this out. And then, you know, Dave East, mm-hmm. he has a bit of a fan base that's from the younger generation. Mm-hmm. So I think him just being in there may draw in some of the younger people. But I don't. Overall, I don't think they're going to pay attention like they should because the state, in my opinion, the state of hip hop now, mm-hmm. they don't care about the history. They don't care how it got started, who we pay homage to when it comes to the first person to start scratching or the first person to start freestyling or like you go up there now and be like, so do you know who Grandmaster Flash is and mm-hmm. the Furious Five and like you said, Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow, name them.
You know what I'm saying? Just the whole Motown era too, you know?
Yeah, you know, and even if you just stick with the hip hop thing, you try to skip up a generation or two and be like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Like, what was the name of their first album? You know, what was the name of Jay-Z's first album? Mm-hmm. You know, and, you know, somebody might be dumb enough to be like, well, I know his new album is 444, but you don't know about Reasonable Doubt? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
what about your kids, man? Do your kids listen to your stuff? Do your music?
Oh, they ain't got no choice when I'm riding in the car. You know,
but do they like it though?
Oh yeah, okay. Like they have the ones they do like, the ones they don't like. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, I listen to some Southern stuff, too. Mm-hmm. And everything sounds like the South now. But when I do play some, especially the ones that are, like, telling stories, my oldest, he likes some of the storytelling songs. Mm-hmm. So if I pull up, because, like, I know he likes, like, Trey likes Tragedy, mm-hmm. you know, from RZA. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised.
It's from the Rhyme and Reason soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And then all of them love ODB. It's like, my wife is going to kill me, you know, but I had played the Dog-ish song.
Do your kids like Tupac?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I've let my kids listen to Tupac yet.
See, that's why I like Apple Music and stuff because you can find the clean versions too.
But they love Big Papa by Biggie.
They love
that song, man. I think they found out they were watching Hardball one day. Mm-hmm. You know, remember the kid with the headphones? Yeah. Every time he pitched, and they were like, "Man, that song's so cool, Daddy!" And I played it over and over for them. They fell in love with it. Yeah, man.
And then kids pick up on it real quick. Mm-hmm. So that's why, and I used to love when you hear ODB. I won't thanks for the children, you know.
Well, I guess for me, I listen to about 70% of my dad's music. Mm-hmm. There's a 30% that I don't because he listened to salsa, merengue. Mm-hmm. I was never into that, and then he liked the Bee Gees. I didn't like the Bee Gees. You know, you might.
I like that one song, "Staying Alive."
I didn't like the Bee Gees, and there was a few other stuff he listened to, but I picked up on DeBarge, Marvin Gaye, all that stuff from him, man. You know, so thank you, Pops. You know, but
I listen to 0% of my dad's music.
Oh, well, your dad's a totally different ballgame. Yeah, your dad don't count.
I mean, he would listen to jazz. Like, well, you know what? Let me take it back. I would listen to maybe 0.5% of some of his music because there were some jazz musicians that he liked, like Charlie Parker, or you know, he might listen to Louis Armstrong or something like that. But the rest of it was just straight gospel music and elevator music, bro. And I'm like, Dad, I literally heard this song in the elevator. Why are you listening to this? You know, but yeah, man. At least you got. I got that much music.
Yeah, I got like 70% of my dad's music. He got me into Sergio Mendes. I don't know if you know who that is. He played that Brazilian type. I think it's not called soca. Whatever it's called. But I fell in love with it, man. And Sergio Mendes got a lot of music with like the Black Eyed Peas and Justin Timberlake now.
Did your pops listen to that dude? Was that Rico Suave?
Nah, he didn't listen to Rico Suave.
What about that suavemente?
I don't even know what that is.
What?
Nah.
Man.
But my
I
dad
need you
did
to get
listen
out
to
some more.
like some of the 80s like cliche music like Tears for Fears, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, he did listen to that, so I like that stuff too a little bit, man. I'm not ashamed.
Hey,
of
I
it.
was listening to the Last Dragon soundtrack the other day,
the bars, man.
Hey,
The rhythm
bruh.
of the night.
Man, I'll listen to that other one.
Gordy-
You got that glow.
Did Barry Gordy produce that album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So, hey,
You got that glow.
he's so stupid.
That's my song, man.
All right, but let's
Willie
move
Hutch.
on, man. Let's move on to Lat. Really wanted to talk about something today. He wanted to talk about musical score in movies.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite music composer, or where did you want to go? I'll let you lead this topic. Go ahead, Lat.
I don't think I really want to get into the composers as of yet, because right now I want to like start naming some movies that has some of the most memorable sounds in there. Because like even like it's simple, because like it'll be easy. Let's say with Bad Boys 2, and you hear certain things playing, I was like, it sound like Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? And then when we was listening to, when we was watching
Are you
Despicable
talking about
Me.
the songs in the movie, or are you talking about?
But
like
even if it was like orchestral type stuff, like with
So you talking about,
Terminator 2,
okay,
you know, I can recognize that anywhere.
okay, so you talking about all music,
all
in
of
general.
it,
So you
yeah,
talking
all
about
the
like
music.
if we hear that Star Wars theme song, the
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
dun. Like, and then main reason I want to talk about it because it ties into hip hop, and I'm wondering if we're gonna hear any of them things like that in the Wu-Tang documentary, because like you mentioned Jurassic Park. I know you remember when old buddy got that Jurassic Park sample.
Swiss Beats and Poster Boy.
Poster Boy, man,
Poster Boy
dude
ripped it.
murdered it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else hopped on that beat because ain't nobody else want to follow behind that.
That's a tough act. I think Swiss was the only one who did it, but he got a pass because he's the producer first.
Right.
Yeah, he got a pass.
Man, that's another thing we're gonna have to find some kind of musical segment we could do, because some producers just didn't need to be on music. You know what I'm saying?
It was a let's cash out type thing. Let's make some money because they're gonna like my beats, and I'll have all the Rough Riders in here with me, or I'll have all the Rockefeller on here with me. You know, it was that type of thing. I'll have all the cast. I'm Manny Fresh. I can't rap, but go Lil Wayne, spit the bars for me.
Trouble chick. Anyway,
It's kind of like, you remember, it was a Rockefeller album. It might have been a soundtrack, and I remember it was called Dame Dash Presents. And like Dame Dash kept like introducing almost every song, and there was like one song where he was like, "I can't rap, get him for me, Cam," and then Cameron came in, and then like Jim Jones is like,
yeah, man,
"Hey, why are you even on here? You can't rap, just shut up, you know, just throw your name on the title."
Could he get paid for it?
You know, it's kind of like when y'all did that mixtape for me.
Oh yeah,
My name's on the title, but
man, you know,
I ain't
actually,
spit
I
no bars, I ain't do no hooks,
bruh. I listened to that hook the other day though, man, just to listen to it.
Which one?
The one with me and Trakz on there.
Oh, okay.
And you was like, man, shut up. Let him get to the man, we might have to play some of them one day. But anyway, I think how important do you feel soundtracks are, like full soundtracks are, to projects nowadays?
They're not as important anymore. Back in the day, it was a marketing tool, in my opinion. It was a great way to promote the movie. You know what I'm saying? You would have all these music videos and stuff, and people love the songs already. So then they would get to watch the videos,
and it had snippets of the movie. Yeah,
snippets of the movie,
like with Bad Boys, and had that what was that reggae chick?
Who?
The reggae chick that sang the song with it was on the Bad Boys soundtrack. Mercy, mercy, mercy. I can't remember the word.
Her name.
I can't remember her name either, man. But I remember specifically like the fight scene from when they were in the club looking for old buddy, and you see Martin sliding for the gun, but they blurred the gun out because they didn't want the gun on TV like that. And it's like you seen some really good parts of the movie.
Well, the music is very valuable viable for the movie. The music it is for the movie. You know, like it changes the tone. It gives you like this is a sad scene. This is a jam-packed action scene. Oh, they in the club and all that kind of stuff. So you get that vibe from the music. But as far as a soundtrack, putting together a released album on iTunes, I think this is a dead art nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that music playing a pivotal role in the movie, you still have to have it. It still changes the chords. It'll give people something to familiarize. And sometimes the music tells the story. You ever seen a movie called The Whackness?
No. You
should watch that movie one day. It's with Josh Peck. And Method Man's got a cameo. Well, he's not got more than a cameo. He's got a couple of scenes in there. And it's about a young boy's summer. And throughout the whole summer, every song is like the narrator of what's happening to the next scene or what just happened to him. So I'm telling you, like, example, he just graduates from high school and he's up there. He's the dope man. And he's just sitting on the rooftop and all the kids are there dancing, having a great time. And then Raekwon's song, Heaven and Hell, comes on. Because he's standing up on top of the roof watching everybody below him. I don't believe in heaven because I'm living in hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you watch the movie, every single song that comes on is telling you what he's thinking or what's going on or what's about to happen. You should watch it, man. I think you would love this movie.
Yeah, I'm going to
just because of the music.
So, and I noticed there's like, it's not a growing trend. It's been happening for a while now, but do you feel like hip hop has taken over the movie industry as well? Because there's always a hip hop something in every movie now.
Well, hip hop is just big, man. So the way hip hop is now compared to like the 80s, the kids want it. It sells. They got to have it in there. You know, not just hip hop, of course, but you know, I get what you're saying.
Like there's like a hip hop-ish overtone in everything now. And like, let's say even with Spiderman, the new Spiderman that came out, you heard hip hop throughout the whole thing. And like even one of the main songs on there was done by Lil Wayne and I screw his name up every time. Tentacion, the guy who passed. Tentacion. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I know who you're talking about, the one who was murdered.
Yeah. And you know, that's like one of the main songs on there, and you hear it playing throughout it. So, and it's like, even if it's like a running scene, you know, like a fast-paced action scene, you might hear a hip-hop song come on. And I'm like, is that taking the place of orchestras? Like, even if, like, let's say you look at trailers now. If you look at the trailer for Rambo, he got that Old Town Road song in there mixed in with some rock and roll now. You look at the new movie, I think it's 21 Bridges or something like that, with old buddy who played Black Panther.
Yeah.
You hear him playing Future, but they added like an orchestral tone to it. So, and for some reason, I did not like the fact that they had that song from Future on there because it didn't match to me. And I feel like they're just grasping at straws to grab the hip hop community to make them come and watch the movie by doing that.
Okay, so you feel like they're kind of just abusing it. They're not using the music as a tool.
Right. I feel like it's like oversaturating because it's like everybody is a rapper. Everybody has a rap song. And I love hip hop.
I love when it's used as a tool. You know, like example, like I was telling you with the Whackness, every scene when like if you're watching a documentary, you have a narrator. This is when Cadillac realized his summer was changing and blah blah blah. You know, well in the movie, when it hits the summer, he graduates. The first song that comes on is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, "Summertime." So like it's letting you know we're transitioning now. School's out. It's summertime. You know,
yes,
they
I
use
really
the
want to see
music
that
as a tool throughout the whole movie. And you know, like you were saying, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Hugo. Hugo is a 3D movie, right? And most 3D movies, they throw in confetti at the screen, bubbles, trying to, you know, they give you the 3D effect. But if you watch the movie, not one time did Martin Scorsese do that. He had these clocks and stuff because the movie was based in the subway where these clocks were and stuff. And he used the trains, he used the library for the 3D effects, for the pop out effects. Like he used what he had in his area as a tool. He didn't force it on you. So that's one thing I really like. And I get where you're going, and I see your frustration.
Yeah.
I definitely get where you're going because you feel like, I'm watching this 3D movie. Why are y'all constantly throwing confetti? It has nothing to do with what's going on. You're forcing me.
I mean, like even Jackass did something as dumb as having like a dildo flying to the screen, and it made you, and it made you want. I mean, but they thought outside the box though. Yeah. You know, now I feel like they're just grabbing whatever song is popular and trying to use that as a marketing tool, and even if the song doesn't match,
they use the song in there as a tool. Jackass, they had that 3-6 Mafia song. We getting effed up.
Oh yeah,
You know, we're getting crazy.
Yeah, and it matches. It matches perfectly. But to hear Future talking about Percocet, Molly Percocet, mask off, turn the mask off. I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with this cop getting ready to close these bridges to try to find the dude who's the cop killer.
Sometimes I don't think the lyrics have to match the scene. Sometimes the beat can do it.
That beat didn't even match.
Okay, the beat didn't match?
No.
Okay, then
because it didn't. It's like they tried to make it sound, because that's more of a smooth, mellow, bouncy type song. Even if you add, like the way they did the beat, they had like trying to not make it all complicated, but they had specific sounds in there to try to, I guess, beef it up and make it sound more actiony, and it didn't work to me.
Have you watched Bumblebee?
The
new Bumblebee movie? Did you notice like they didn't use old 80s music? They had today's artists like creating music with 80s type sound.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like you said, they didn't just try to cash out with just whatever's popping right now.
Right.
They wanted that 80s
vibe
but movie.
Like, and if it makes sense, like I'm gonna go back to Rambo. The way they did the Old Town Road thing, the setting made sense because it looked like he was out in the country, but then you could hear the rock guitars coming in, and you would hear certain parts where it say, the Old Town Road, you know, and then you're like, oh, snap, you know, and it made sense for that particular trailer because it's like nowadays it seems like everything has to match.
We got a perfect example that we just talked about on a couple of episodes ago.
What's that?
The Sonic the Hedgehog with the...
Oh, bruh. That Gangsta's Paradise. Yeah, man.
That made
no sense whatsoever. I'm like, why are you... But when you see all the missiles and stuff stuck in the thing and you hear that, oh, I was like, this is kind of cool. But I could tell they're just doing this to try to grasp the old heads.
Because it was Sonic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man.
Know, though.
And I was like, there's nothing gangsta about Sonic whatsoever, bruh.
I saw so many people complaining about it, like, why is Gangsta Paradise on here? That made no sense, you know?
Yeah, it's like they're reaching for straws, man. And I'm like, y'all need to stop, you know?
And it was still playing with Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, and I'm like, he ain't even fat, but I'm gonna get that one a pass though.
It's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey could pretty much pull off anything. So, but I hate that they're using hip hop the way they're using it. I understand if it's the more popular thing, fine. But there is so much more music that will fit the narratives, and I mean, because there's every subject you could think of when it comes to hip hop music, and it has dope production in it where you won't have to add too much to it. But now you got a dude trying to find a cop killer, and you hear a dude in the background talking about Percocet, Molly Percocet, mask off. You know, I'm like, what? The song itself already don't even make sense because the dude don't do drugs.
Is this something you're noticing a lot of, or is it's been a few instances?
I'm noticing it a lot.
You really are? Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I'm like a music head. Like me, I'm from the old school era. I like to sample. Is it my main thing? No, but I always hear something in music. If I really like it, I could pick that one thing out of it. Like Josh and I went to go see. The heck did we just go see? We went to go see Spiderman. There was a song in there. Me and him sitting there nodding our head. It's not a hip hop song. It was an old school, like it sounded like a 70s or 80s type song. We just not. And I looked at him, and he's like, "You gonna sample that, ain't you?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course." So, and like I'm talking about, bro, I hit Shazam. And I had my phone up like this just so I could find the song. And boom, it popped up on my phone. I said, got it. You know, so now I can actually sample that anytime I feel like sampling it. So it's like that part of it was cool. But if they would have had, let's say, Kendrick Lamar coming up, inside your DNA, and I'm like, why is this even in the song? Yeah. I hate that. I can't stand it. So when I start hearing little small stuff, and because like I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I live by that quote of George Lucas. Sound is 50% of the movie experience. If that music is whack, it's gonna ruin the picture for me, bro. It's gonna ruin it. So I am the type of person like, do it right. Like when I felt like if Us didn't have I Got 5 on it in there, and
she was all beat.
You know what I'm saying?
She was all beat, man.
But that played a pill. Yeah. So if it didn't have I Got 5 on it in there, if it didn't have F the Police and all that, like that song had nothing to do with the fight scene. But it got you hype. Yeah. At the right moment, because like they really effing these people up, you know, hitting them with golf clubs and all that stuff, and they're not dying. So, like, if it fits the narrative, put it in there, but don't use it as a tool, because I feel like people who are real finicky when it comes to stuff like that, it might throw them off.
Okay. So before we end this topic, like, do you have a favorite movie music composer?
Whoever did Terminator 2, bruh.
Terminator 2?
I don't know the name. Like, I don't know some of these names because like anytime because you know me, I always jump straight to the hip hop community. And as far movie wise, hip hop producers, Dr. Dre and Pharrell did a phenomenal job in those movies. Especially Pharrell to do Despicable Me the way he did it. Man, that was freaking awesome. And like, I went to see The Grinch with my daughter. I'm thinking it was Pharrell who did that one, and it was Tyler, the Creator.
Well, the guy you like from Terminator 2, he did the first Terminator, he did True Lies, Johnny Mnemonic. Those are like his most popular ones. He did the TV series Time Cop. So he's done some pretty good movies, man. And movies that I tell you, I like the music behind it. My favorite one is Hans Zimmer. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with him.
What movies?
He did Inception, Interstellar.
Okay, I like him then. I like him because Inception, I could still pick stuff out of that and want to sample it. So, I mean, because who does the Batman movies?
He did all the Dark Knight ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say,
the Christopher Nolan ones.
Yeah, I like the strings.
He did Gladiator. He did Dunkirk. He did Blade Runner. I'm trying to scroll through this really fast. The Dark Knight, right? I told you he did all the Dark Knight movies. Despicable Me. Iron Man. The Prestige.
That was a good movie.
He's got, whoa, man. This goes Jason X, Ants. He's done a lot, dude. I'm like,
that was like
he did the Lion King.
What?
It says he did the Lion King on here. White Fang.
Hey, if the Lion King don't start off with old buddy go, it's the bruh.
He did the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's done a lot.
You know what? I think Trakz had a little bit on that too.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Trakz, we got to get to that interview.
All right, let's go ahead and get into that Trakz interview right now. Like, well, matter of fact, Trakz is your boy. Introduce him with a formal introduction that he deserves, man.
Man, y'all finna listen to Trakz. Nah, I'm messing with you. Man, this has been my partner since we met. My homeboy Kevin Lamar, a.k.a. Gr8. You spell it Gr8. Trakz, Trakz. He spells it the Gr8 for a reason. I'll get him to explain it. I don't want to spoil it. Then I ain't gonna want to listen to the interview. But dude is a phenomenal producer. He has taught me so much, and it's not just with music. He's taught me things with life as well. But I almost cried when he moved back to Jersey. That was my homeboy. I'm gonna have to fly up there and chill with him. And he introduced me to Jersey Mike's, man. That's like the best sandwich spot ever. Subway, I'm sorry. Firehouse, I'm sorry. Quiznos, even if y'all are up, I'm sorry, but y'all ain't got nothing on Jersey Mike's. But without further ado, get ready to check out the homie Kevin Lamar. Dun dun dun. We gonna make sure we bring that up.
That's coming up in the meeting, bro. It's in the meeting. Okay. What happened? You know what? We're beefing right now because I didn't get my poster yet. I was on a project. I ain't getting nothing.
All right, and that was the voice you just heard of Mr. Kevin Lamar, a.k.a. Gr8.
What's good, people?
Producer extraordinaire from Jersey. He's also one of my personal partners, best friend, brother, and as we like to say, Bishop.
Yes, sir, Bishop. Yes, indeed.
Man, it's been a good little minute, man. How you been?
Man, I've been amazing, bro. I can't complain. It's a whole new market up here, and I had to get reacclimated back to it. But now everything is running smooth, Doc.
Yeah, you got snow up there.
Yeah, we had a lot of it too, bro.
I can't.
Now it's a lot of heat, and the humidity up here is crazy. So it's like realistically, it'd be like 90 degrees, but because of the humidity, it'd be like 115.
Ew.
Crazy, yeah.
I'm kind of you know how it is down here in Columbus, little old Columbus, man.
Yeah. Y'all got sun heat though. It's kind of different. Out here it's just sticky, man. You walk outside, it's like you just find the closest mall or movie theater that got good air conditioning. Call it a day. That's it.
Man, so I'm gonna jump right into it, bro. Okay, the film is this podcast is based off of film and things of that nature. In this particular episode, we're talking about the importance of music in a film.
Right.
And of course, we want to get somebody who's had the experience of movie scoring and things of that nature. And matter of fact, before we get into that, can you give us a brief background of everything that you've done?
Man, wow. Brief from production career, or I started off, went to school for electronic engineering, worked with Warner Brothers for 20 plus years, started off as an engineer's assistant, then became engineer, then became a producer, and then I became an executive composer. So, and then I started up I have a subsidiary with them now under Gr8 Productions umbrella. And so like just doing a lot of production, especially with Gr8 Productions, 2-time producer of the year, the Georgia Music Awards, countless movies and international movies, especially Germany, London, Thailand. It's a lot. It's a whole lot just thinking about it. Like, wow.
So to try to keep it brief, out of all the movies that you have worked on as far as movie scoring, which one was your favorite?
My favorite probably be Black Panther.
What?
Black Panther, yeah.
So like what was your role? Because I know from one experience I've had with you personally, you was explaining to me like if there are some things that need to be fixed right away, or they got like some last minute stuff, they'll call you, be like, hey, we need this, that, the third, blah, 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 boom, fix it. And then boom, you're on it.
Yeah, literally, like right then and there, because for them time is money. And it's crazy because all of their hard drives and everything are like FBI clearance. So it's, which I thought was weird. Like, why would the FBI have anything to do with it? But literally, like, you can't be linked onto the internet. You can't anything. And so, like, whenever they send things to you in the efforts of people not pirating their things, they will tell you, okay, this is what we need you to do. So, like, doing, doing string arrangements as well as like drumming and different contour of types of sounds and everything else. A lot of it I like because of the syncopation. It really stretches you because for me, I'm not used to doing a lot of like African style drumming and it's really, since I got down there with you guys in Columbus, I'm using 808s and stuff and they're just like, no, we need you to hit this timpani. Okay, here we go,
So with that being your, like, why was it your favorite though? Like, can you go a little more in depth with it? Because I understand it was a good switch up for you, right? But experience wise, how does that differ from you working on Spider-Man?
Well, it's different because this is one of the first times in a long time where I was composing music and I was a part of music in a way where it wasn't telling a story. It was just giving you a feeling. Like, I'm used to doing like segue scenes and, okay, we need to turn this scene from a happy scene to a action scene, or this person just died and we got to change it from here to, okay, somebody in a car, you know what I mean? So like you're changing different emotions. This right here was more of a feeling of you're bringing pride to a culture that technically doesn't exist, but you have to make it feel like it does. You know, and so like it's different in a way of like not just going in and just saying, okay, I'm gonna hit these minor chords so that you'll feel sad. And no, this is literally, okay, now what would it be like if you were in the jungle in 2019 and we want you to feel like these people are an empowered indigenous people that we don't know about? That's a whole different stretch. You know what I mean? Than to say, okay, I need you to play this action music and, or I want this to be like a club scene, or I want, this person is flying here and you're looking at it and it's like, oh, okay, well, this would, I would channel like a Superman or whatever it would be that would be like an adventurous, you kind of go into the bag of all of the things that you've seen in history and try to recreate it in a nowadays type feel. This was totally different.
One of the moments where you can get an omnisphere or go in contact and just get something that's already in there. No, right. You gotta actually go in there and do something from scratch.
No, you're gonna pick up some sticks and look at some sheet music. That's what's gonna happen with this. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, like with stuff like that, and so. And then it's like there's no time stretching or anything in this. So it's like when you're used to doing something and, okay, here is a metronome and here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's like, okay, you got 30 people in here playing at the same time. You get what I'm saying? And in this scene, we're going to such and such. Okay, now we want you all to speed it up at the same time. But nobody could talk because it's being recorded. You get what I'm saying? Wow. So you just paying attention to what's going on. It's like looking at a conductor in an orchestra. And it's like, okay, when that stick is moving, okay, this is your tempo. And everybody has to be on there, or you got to redo it all the way from scratch. And it's no cut and paste. It's literally, no, you got to do the whole 3-minute part.
Oh.
Straight through, so.
So is it safe to say this is one of the hardest scores you ever had to participate in?
I wouldn't say it was hard. It was fun. It's challenging. It wasn't so much hard. It was just challenging because it's one of those things where you have to change your mind to. It's like for me being alive, I'm a musician as well. So for me, playing live is different from me tracking in the studio. In the studio, I can just put this and okay, I'm going to loop this 4 bars or 16 bars, or I'm going to play this part, and then I'm just going to copy paste this over here. No, this is like as if you're on a live show, and it's like, okay, so we're going to play this Cameo song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the way through. So there's no looping on a show. It's like you just got to play it, and so the great thing is like being able to read sheet music and being able to be disciplined to be able to do it is more of the tedious part of it, but rewarding at the same time.
I bet. That had to be a great sense of accomplishment after you finished.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. What else?
I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
Sure.
Tell us about your very first movie that you had to score.
Actually, okay, so the first movie I had to score, I remember I was actually producing in New York, and the guy who actually was supposed to be scoring the movie, it wasn't like a big hit movie or anything, it was something in Germany. And the guy who was supposed to be scoring the movie got sick. And so he couldn't finish the movie in the time frame that needed to be done. And I was like, well, let me try it. I mean, worst case scenario is that it don't work. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to lose either way, and at the time I didn't even know I was going to get paid for it. When I got the check, I was pleasantly surprised. I paid my tithes first. Come on.
Bishop.
And then, what I mean? Then everything else like really changed. I was able to really, change my lifestyle from there. But doing the movie was really cool because it was for the first time where you could just use your imagination for myself, where I can just use my imagination and whatever I came up with was what it was going to be. It wasn't like you had like here's a direction or a roadmap of what needs to be done. It's like, okay, this is the scene. This is what we want to do with the scene. This is what's going on here. And mind you, it's all in German. So, I have a guy sitting here trying to explain to me, what it is, you know what I mean? Or what this scene is. And he's not doing a good job keeping up with what's going on. So I'm taking all type of notes. And then I just went in there. It was like, okay, well, I'm just going to make it feel the way I feel like it should feel. Going by.
So now you know what not to do.
Exactly. Going by the I was like, listen, I need a better, better translator. That's what I need. So, and that film, it was really cool. It was fun. I mean, it changed my perception of looking at movies after that point. Like now I look at movies, I have to look at a movie like 3 times. I look at it first and I'm nitpicking everything. Oh, look at the CGI, or look at the Foley effects that they're putting in here. Oh, look at this, and this person is acting, and that music is crazy. And then the next time I'm looking at it, it's just like, okay, I'm watching the movie. It's like I'm watching the movie now in all together without me nitpicking the movie. Then the third time I watch it, it's just like, okay, I've seen it. I'm just going to enjoy it. Like, okay, cool. Like, man, this is a great movie. You know what I'm saying? So like.
That's awesome, man. So, that hip hop as a culture has pretty much taken over everything. You hear it in country music and opera. It's like the theme of all the movies now, or either they're going to have some kind of hip hop cameo in there. In some places you wouldn't even expect it. And, one of the greatest hip hop groups of all time is getting ready to drop a movie. We got the Wu-Tang Clan,
of course,
getting ready to drop their joint on Hulu.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you've seen the documentary already. They had like 4 episodes on there.
It was amazing.
Like, that was like one of the best documentaries I've seen in a very long time. It was very well put together.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as this movie, how important do you think the music is going to be in here?
In this movie?
Yes, and the Wu-Tang movie that's getting ready to come out, because they got people like Dave East playing Method Man, and
right,
and it's like, I wonder if they're gonna. I know they're gonna have the classics in there, but I wonder if they're gonna make some new music just for it and bring back the soundtrack, because they don't really do soundtracks like that for real anymore.
Exactly. Well, it's either gonna be amazing or horrible. It's one of those things where, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real in between on this. You know, it's just like watching. What was the movie? I'm trying to think of the movie with Wesley Snipes. It was called New York something. I can't think of the name of it. Something New York. Well, Wesley Snipes was in there. Busta Rhymes was in there for a brief moment. Mm-hmm. Somebody else, but it was like more of a New York style movie. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that movie never really caught on was because the soundtrack sucked. Oh. It sounded like they got some Hollywood people to be able to create this soundtrack of like movie scoring Hollywood style instead of like a Juice or a Belly or a Boys in the Hood, or, you know, where you're capturing the culture of the actual movie. So in this movie, it's one of those things where it's going to either be amazing or not. But I think it's going to be amazing because it's all about capturing the culture itself. Because now you have these people, Method Man, Redman, RZA, Jizza, ODB, you know, Spectre Deck. You got all of these people lives and the integrity of their career now in your hands. You get what I'm saying? And when you have something like that, they're either going to give their stamp of approval or they're going to say no. And the one great thing about Netflix so far that I've seen, that's like the greatest thing that I've seen yet, is that Netflix gives freedom because they have no boundaries.
Right.
Like TV, you got to worry about, okay, how many curses are you putting in here? Okay, who are we selling to? Okay, no. And Netflix is just like, yo, we're going to put it on here. You already paid for the subscription either way, or you borrowing it from somebody. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? And so realistically, when they giving you stuff, it's just like, okay, we think this is hot. If you think it's hot, go ahead and watch it. If you don't, okay, you know, somebody who don't care about the Wu-Tang Clan probably is not going to watch it. But then they may stop by because they noticed the symbol. They know that infamous Wu sign. Right. They may know, you know what I mean? They may see that, oh, this has 5 stars. Let me check this out. And so they get a chance to view it. You get what I'm saying? So Netflix right now, I mean, even from like the Luke Cage series, and you already know,
man, that soundtrack. Oh,
you know,
my God.
I remember hearing, matter of fact, I called you when I watched it.
Yes.
I said, yo, Lack, listen. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you know that I don't know if you remember it, but my boy Chevy from Show Chase.
Yeah, I remember.
I did that song for him, Catfish and Hot Wings.
Yes, indeed.
And Will, I'm talking about Will Kendrick. Was trying to figure out where I got the sample from.
First of all, shout out to Ill Will. That is my guy.
Oh, yes, sir.
That is our brother. That is my lawyer. He's still my lawyer till this day.
And he out there killing it right now.
He's murdering. Oh, my God. Yo, young dude who went out there and just said, yo, I believe I can make a difference, and did it. So sorry for the segue, but I'm not sorry.
Right. Hey, that's a fellow producer that we're going to have to get on the show one day.
He has to. Let me make sure you call me when he's on there.
Oh, most definitely.
Definitely.
We need a reunion anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a flight. That's nothing.
We're going to have to make that happen. We're going to have to talk about that.
Definitely.
That he's called me in the middle of the night. Lack. I said, oh, Lord, what, man? What happened? Am I going to jail? I didn't know what was going on. It was late. Right. So, you know, I'm usually an early bird. So
right.
He got, I know where you got that sample from. You got it off Luke Cage. I just heard it at the end of the episode.
That's it.
I heard it at the end of the episode. I said, yep.
Yes, indeed.
And I had like 3-4 beats that I made just from hearing songs off that Luke Cage soundtrack, man. And I hate it when people start doing things like downing sampling.
Right.
Because I'm like, that's how hip hop got started in the first place.
That's the origin, like you said, that's the origin of hip hop itself. That's what made hip hop organic. Crazy sidebar, right? So we had a conversation about why was the 90s so amazing, right? Mm-hmm. It's because in the 70s, they made music that you can feel.
Right.
80s, they were experimenting, trying to create a sound. The 90s, they sampled the feeling of music and brought it into the actual digital sound itself that they were messing with in the 80s that created a feeling but a beat at the same time.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. And that's why like kind of in like the 2000s and 2010s is and all of that stuff, people are kind of getting lost trying to create new things, but they're taking away a lot of the feeling. And that's why you're kind of left with what you had. That's why I'm so happy with like the Kendrick Lamars and the J. Cole's and you know what I mean?
Right.
Different.
Like you can't make that funky face no more because everybody is sounding the same. Like you cut on the radio and everybody got the same cadence. Everybody got the same sound. Like when Designer first came out, they put out Panda. I thought it was Future. Right. You know, I'm like, come on, man. And that was one thing I brought up too. That song from Future, Mask Off.
Right.
You know, old buddy Chadwick Boseman is coming out with a movie called 21 Bridges.
Exactly. I've seen it. Right.
And then you got Mask Off playing in the background with a rock band doing it. And I'm like, I don't like this. It doesn't fit. It doesn't sound right to me.
Well, people going to hate what I'm saying right now. And I'm just going to put it out there. I feel the same way about the new Beyonce remix of Before I Let Go.
Bruh, you ain't the only one. You know
what I'm saying? Like I heard it and I'm just
it's just like she can't do no wrong. She can take a turd and throw it at you, and it's gonna be your fault that you accidentally got hit by the turd or something.
Exactly.
You was in the path of her righteous turd. You know
exactly. But that's it's funny. We did an interview before. I did an interview with you before, and that was actually the reason why I left my touring career to become a full-time producer. Because I was down there, I never forget, I was listening to a song on I don't even remember what song it was, Down South song. And most of the songs had the same cadences. But I was like, okay, I don't want to hear this song. Switch to another station, same songs playing. Switch to another station, same songs playing. And I was like, yo, like, where's the diversity? Like, who's going to actually create it? And I never forget, I was sitting there, and the first thing that popped in my head was like, why don't you do it? And so that's when I started, like, really producing. And then I got down there with like you and like Double O Key and Gotti and Nick and all of these cats and Ill Will and everybody. And I remember I started doing stuff, working with like D'Ambra, Renee, and, a couple of other people, Mia V and, Tasha. And I remember Double O Key came to the studio.
And he just cussed me out the other day.
Double O Key?
Yeah.
He cussed everybody out. That's Uncle Key. That's what we call Uncle Key. But he literally, I never forget, he sat me down and he said, he's like, yo, Trakz, man, let me give you the real. And you know how he does. And he said, your music is hot, but we can't play it. And I'm like, why? He said, yo, I'm going to show you what the song list is for the radio. Now they got the Scott system, whatever. Okay, yo, this is the listing. Where do these songs fit in if I was to put you in rotation? And he didn't. And so that's when I came up with a bright idea of making segue music. We sat there, you remember, and I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two songs. Let's say a Rihanna song and a Beyonce song, because I was working with a female artist at the time. And I'm going to make a song that goes in between these songs as if I was a DJ. Because the DJ job is literally to get you from one song to another song.
Right.
And whatever transition can be the greatest, okay, great. That's the song that's going to be there. You get what I'm saying? And so I was like, well, what if I just started creating songs like that where it's the transition song between this one and that one? And I never forget, we was in the car, and you know me, I'm always going over to what was a Quick Check, I think it was, right? It was a Quick Check. Circle K. When it was going to Circle K. And I'm in the car with D'Ambra Renee. And DJ Trues was playing in the midday show. And he did like Single Ladies, and then D'Ambra song, and then he went into a Busta Rhymes mix. And the songs that was the two songs that we did kind of a mashup of feelings of. And I just started laughing, and she started crying. She was looking like, yo, it worked. I was like, yeah, that's the whole point. I'm trying to be all cool about it. You know what I mean? But like, that was like the point of actually.
Yeah, but deep down on the inside, you feeling like KC.
Exactly. But that's why like people like you and you and shout out to Razor Ross as well.
Life.
Yeah. Plex. I can't forget my big brother, Plex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The late great Psych Pacino. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, I remember we went to the studio one day and I'm sitting there and it was just like, yo, I'm from up north, so I kind of can do down south beats, but I can't. And I never forget, I shut the studio down. You remember that? I shut the studio down for like 2 or 3 days. Psych brought pizzas and sodas for everybody. And you remember that? And we had like a whole table set up inside of the studio. And Razor was like, yo, you got this plug in? No. You got this? No. He said, see, that's your problem. Your sounds are too good. He said, we from down south, we use Casios and, you know what I mean? Like, you trying to have grand pianos and, you know what I mean? The Yugoslav strings and everything else. Like, nah, we don't.
I mean, but that's the kind of stuff you need for the movies, though, right?
Well, for movie scoring, yes. But a lot of times when I was as a producer doing things for the radio is usually totally different than movies. Like, you can have certain things, and a lot of people won't tell you that. You can have certain things that's like party songs, or like, when you come into a certain thing and, okay, this song is going to just hype everybody up to, for this scene. But the actual emotional songs and music that's in there are totally different from what you hear on the radio, because you got to remember the radio, realistically, I don't care how hot of a artist you are, you only have at the very most a shelf life of 3 months on the radio. And I might be stretching it nowadays. But you think about it. You look at somebody like just last year, Designer was on the BET Awards.
And now he ain't nowhere to be found.
You probably forgot about it until I mentioned him.
Yeah.
You forgot all about Panda until you mentioned it. Like that little Yachty was out there on the BET Cypher. You probably forgot about it until I mentioned it. But that's the thing, is that these people are creating songs for moments. They're not creating songs for a lifetime now. They're not looking at down the line. And I think a lot of that's coming from that nowadays it could just be one person in the room doing everything. They don't have the community anymore. And that's what's happening, from lifestyle to everything else. When you had a community, when I'm sitting in a room and you got 10 people bobbing their head saying, yo, that's it. Not ones who just happy to be in the room, but like people who are really going to give you their real opinion. That's it. That's the status quo. Then you sitting in the room just saying, oh, this is hot. People going to nod their head to it. It sounds like such and such. And you put it out and it's just like, okay, it may catch your attention for a minute, but it's not something that's setting a soundtrack to your life, which what music should be. Like, you could mention a song, like I could mention like, Lauryn Hill first album. I remember where I was. I remember I snuck and listened to the song I was in art class in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally remember this. I remember getting on to Woo and buying Woo wear and, like seeing how that worked with my Tommy Hilfiger jeans or my FUBU jeans, my iced, you know what I mean? Like my iceberg felines on, like
that was got a closet full of them.
Exactly right. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, that literally, even when you look at clothes and everything else, and music goes hand in hand because it's art.
Right.
It literally set a time of period for you.
And that reminds me of, because I'm gonna get back to the film before Will shoot me.
Okay.
You have some of the greatest soundtracks from back then. You had the Bad Boys soundtrack. You had Above the Rim.
Oh, yeah.
Belly. Yep, Belly. That was a great soundtrack. And I wish we could get back to that point, but it's like, are people actually going to stream the music, or are they going to come up with music just for the soundtrack? Because I thought it was amazing how Kendrick Lamar pretty much did the entire Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, well, because the thing is that we can get back to that. And it's a bigger market, believe it or not, than it was back then. And most people will argue that point. But the thing is that now you have more streams to, like, you put it on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the streams from Netflix now. You having somebody who's creating music getting royalties from movies. You get what I'm saying? So, like, realistically, if they do their job, if they get the right people to do the actual music, then realistically, they can't. That would be the soundtrack. Like, I look at, like, now, like, for what's it called, for white people or whatever. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
The Spike Lee joint that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And which they're on season 3. I just found out today, so I'm about to binge watch that. Literally, I would hear all of these cool songs on there and I had never heard of before, and I would Shazam it, or ask, Siri, hey Siri, what is this song? Mm-hmm. And literally, it'll come up, and then the song would say from the movie such and such. You get what I'm saying? And so people are getting streams just because it's from the movie such and such. Okay, well, or this is from the series of this. And so, like, now worldwide, because you got to remember, Netflix isn't just US. You get what I'm saying? So, like, now worldwide, people are getting put onto this ill music that you don't hear on the radio, that you probably won't know about unless you're in that culture, or you happen to go on and say, okay, who is this? And then you put that name in Pandora, and then they give you 30 or 50 other people that I never heard of.
Yes, and that's going to be a whole nother topic right there, because, we could go on and and on about it. So in order to get ready to wrap this up, for people who are trying to get into that industry as far as movie scoring and just having random songs for, like, commercials or regular TV shows or anything of that nature, do you have any pointers on how people can get their stuff out there?
Taxi.com. That's a great way.
Okay.
Other thing is go to your major cities. Like Atlanta right now is booming since, this channel is down south. But, I mean, I know people from everywhere stream the channel anyway. But go to your major cities and actually see who's doing movies. Nowadays you can just go on there and see who's actually creating movies, who's shooting movies. I say all the time, if it's not on YouTube or Google, it probably doesn't exist. Okay. So go on there, find out who these people are, and then that's going to set you on a trail of these other people who are creating. Look up movie trailers 2019 on Google. Just Google it. I mean, on Google or on YouTube. Look up, movie trailers 2019, 2020. Because usually the ones for 2020 isn't even done yet. They just giving you the teaser to be able to get the funding to be able to finish the movie.
Right.
So now you can find that. It's going to have the people information on there, and then get in with it. Let me submit this to you. Hey, I like what you're doing. I would like to get a shot to be able to try to do something with you. Okay, great. And at that part,
you can't be scared to reach out to some of these people.
No, you got to talk to people. Like, people want to send Facebook messages and stuff, and that's cute. And when people send me, like, IG messages and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, hey, I have no idea who you are, but all right.
Let me guess.
You know what I'm saying?
The main thing you'll see, the first message be, hey, what's up? The second message is, let's work.
There you go. Literally. You know what I mean? Yo, man, you dope. Let's work. Okay, on what?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Those, man. And I don't even respond afterwards, man. I'm like, okay, yeah, they ain't really trying to do nothing, because they would at least show me what they wanted to work on,
But that's the thing. It's sad, because it's almost like scary to even comment nowadays. Like, as soon as you put hey, man, what's going on? I'm a fan. Oh, thank you. Now it opens up this whole conversation I really don't have time for, let alone that I don't even know. So, like, that's the reason why even on my business cards, I remember y'all used to laugh at me about it. It says Gr8.com. There's no phone number, no anything. It just says Great Trakz Production, my logo, Great Trakz Production, and then Gr8tracks.com. That's it. And they were like, "God, you ain't
ahead of the game." No, we didn't understand And once you taught me the game, it was a whole nother ball game. So I was like, okay, I understand now. I can't laugh no more.
That's it. I mean, well, the people, I always say, the people who are serious about it would do their work. They would do the work. You would invest in what you're doing. If they want to know about me, okay, I'm giving you the trail right there, Gr8.com. Okay, well, let me go to Gr8.com. Oh, this is how I get in touch with him. This is who he is. This is what he does. This is what he, you know what I mean, what he's done. You know, okay, now.
Because I used to wonder, like, bro, you ain't got nothing on this card, bro. It
Nope.
just says Gr8.com.
Nope.
Like, oh, you just wasted the paper.
That's it. But the funny part is, it's so much information on that paper that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It gets straight to the point.
Never understood less is more back then, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, people find you. I mean, because you think about it. Most people who have great relationships with anything work towards it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you seen a beautiful woman, okay, well, if she in the club, let's just say I don't do this, but she in the club, let me buy her a drink. Then I'm going to sit down and try to have basic, frivolous conversation with her, and hopefully she likes me. And then let's go on a date. So I'm going to pay for that. What do you like? You do your research. You know, you might know one of her friends or something. Yo, what's the deal with her? She cute? She single? What's good? You find out about it. You don't just walk up and say, okay, let's get married.
About your name, man. Let's go on over here and go get married real quick.
Yeah, there you go. We're finna do this. They're criminal. shout out to 40. They're criminal.
Oh, man. Bro, I've got to wrap this up.
You
Look,
good, bro.
You know, I appreciate you, man. You know, you're my brother. I love you.
Always.
Got to get you back on the show, man.
Where's Will?
Man, probably somewhere beating off or something.
Tell Will I need my picture. That's it.
All right, guys. Lack, that was a great interview, man. I can't wait to see Trakz. I hope he comes back in town one day, man.
Yeah, man, you need to quit tripping. Come on down here, man. I'm pretty sure y'all heard me fussing at him, but yeah, I gotta call my partner, man, and I gotta do it more often. You know, I'm bad with returning folks' calls and stuff. So
okay,
you know it, man.
All right, Lack. But before we wrap this up, man, you got homework before our next episode. You gotta watch The Whackness.
Oh, okay. Is it on Netflix or Hulu or anything?
I don't know. I had the Blu-ray.
I'll pop it in the PlayStation then.
It came out like maybe 02,
okay.
03, 04.
It's called The Whackness?
Yeah, The Whackness.
Why it gotta be Whackness and it got all the hip-hop tracks in there?
It's dope, though. You'll like it, man. Josh Peck is in it. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was a Nickelodeon star.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's in it. Oscar...
Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna check it out then, man.
The chick who played Jean Grey from X-Men, the older version.
Okay.
She's in it too. And you seen Juno?
Juno?
Yeah. You never seen the movie Juno about the little teenage girl who gets pregnant?
Oh, I say it had a pink background, bright yellow letters, Juno, on the trailer. I can't remember.
Well, anyway, her best friend in the movie, she's in it as well.
Okay.
You will recognize a lot of people in the movie.
Okay.
That's your homework, man. I think you will really, really like it, dude.
You know what? We're going to have to do that.
Okay? So when we start off the next episode, we're going to get right into The Whackness just to see what you thought.
Okay.
If you didn't watch it, we got to figure out a way to punish Lack. We'll ban him from Wu-Tang.
No, man.
I'll have his wife change his Hulu account or a password or something.
Man, that'll be dirty, man.
So yeah, we'll figure something out, man. I'll have to get in contact with his wife and see if she'll help me out with that if he doesn't.
But you're gonna have to give me the movie though.
I can do that. If you can't find it online to stream it, I'll let you borrow the movie.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate that.
I ain't doing it at the beginning. My bad. I forgot.
Here he goes. All right, guys, man. We appreciate y'all listening in. Just make sure y'all stay tuned for some more episodes and some more podcasts we got coming out. I have another podcast coming out soon. I can't announce what it is yet. But thank you, guys. Be kind. Rewind those VHS tapes. We are outro.
And Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
At Chameleon Media Podcast, all one word. Follow me on Instagram at Lack Grizzly, LACGRIZZLY, and you'll find me on all other social media platforms somehow by entering those letters. Ha!
Oh, and unfollow him if he doesn't do his homework.
No, man, I'm almost at 1,300 followers. I'm feeling loved. Okay, I'm done.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. We out.
Peace.